Hey, so today is Coping Skill Tuesday, and today's coping skill is meal planning. So, a meal plan, so let's talk about what it is. Meal planning. Basically, it's a plan that you and a nutritionist, maybe your doctor, but usually a nutritionist will make together about what you need to consume in terms of food in a day. So there's guidelines as to, maybe how often you eat. I know that, like, for me, I need to eat every 3 hours or so, maybe 4 to push it if I have to. So I eat like breakfast, and about 3 to 4 hours later, I have a snack or lunch, depending on when I had breakfast. And then I have 3 to 4 hours later, I have a snack. Definitely have an afternoon snack, and then I have dinner. And then if I'm gonna be up for a while, I might have another snack. Just kind of depends. But that's something that I did with a nutritionist. So a meal planning can usually mean plan out your meals for a day to a week. I usually plan for one day, and then I repeat that plan for about 7 days, so for a week. I'm just not a person who really cares too much about, I don't get bored with food very easily. So some obstacles to engaging would be things like fear of the grocery store. Thinking about a whole week can be overwhelming for me. I've been triggered, and I can only engage by eating safe foods. I might be engaging in behaviors, and there's also I can't get out of bed. So some thoughts on overcoming. I've been working with meal plans now for about 4 years. Lots of not successes, lots of success. And now I just have kind of like a general idea of what I need, and I follow that. So it's a little bit more intuitive for me now, but basically, if I broke it down and I showed you what I do, then you'd see that basically I'm still following a meal plan. So like I said, I know what my general meals and snack times are, and I know what I need to eat for each of those things, and some necessities that have to happen there, and then things that if I'm able to, I add on. For the fear of the grocery store, one thing that I recommend is the shopping list. It's very helpful. And then I write down everything I'm gonna need for that week, and then I take that list and I rewrite it based on the flow of the grocery store I'm going to. So it might be produce, and then dairy, and then cereal, or whatever. So that way it gets me through the grocery store as fast as possible. When it comes to thinking about a whole week, it can be very overwhelming for me. So something that I do is, like I said, I only plan for a whole day's worth of food, and then I repeat that for 7 days. For me, that allows me the opportunity to maybe make one big pot of stew or soup, or salad or something like that, that meets all the needs that I need, and then I split it up based for 7 days. And that is really helpful for me. Also, it's really saves me a lot of money and a lot of time. So I really like it, and I also don't get bored with food very easily. So then I get to try something new the following week. And that really is good for me, especially if I like a recipe, because then I'm like, oh, I love this so much. Not going to overeat it because I'm going to have it again tomorrow. If I've been triggered and I can only engage by eating safe foods, then I actually have an emergency safe food meal plan that I follow. It's something I worked out with my nutritionist when I was seeing one, and I still use it. It's a meal plan of all safe foods, and all I eat on it are safe foods, but they all meet my needs. So some, I think there's a little bit more challenging meal plan, but there's the like basics, and that one's really, really important for me, especially for those weeks. That way, if I feel like I'm slipping, then I can go and use it, and it sometimes can deter me and really help get me back on track a lot faster. If I'm engaging in behaviors, then the next thing I do then is I jump right to the emergency plan. When I'm ready, I engage with the meal plan I have a list of places that I can go, restaurants, friends, family, that will get food in front of me that is safe, that I know, and also puts me in a safe place. This is really important for me. It helps me get back on track, and then when I'm ready, I start planning the next thing. Usually the shopping list for the emergency safe food plan, very important here. And I start planning that shopping trip. Shortly to maybe an hour or so after I've gotten food in front of me that I'm going to keep down and that I'm not going to engage in behaviors for the next few hours. Can help me get back on track a little bit faster and really help cut down the time that I'm engaging in those behaviors. I'm not saying relapse. I'm saying engaging in behaviors. If I can't get out of bed, this is what I do. Bananas, rice, applesauce, toast. I treat myself as if I am actually sick, like with the flu. Lots of rest and a lot of fluids. And when I'm ready, the next thing I engage in is my emergency plan. So the priority here is to get food in front of me. And then if there's no food in the house, to move forward with a meal plan immediately. So getting to the grocery store is priority number 2. Food first, then grocery store. Rating the coping skill. In terms of engaging with the coping skill, I give it a 3. It requires a nutritionist. Also requires money. Can be kind of a deterrent for some people. So working with a nutritionist, also a difficulty. So really looking out for some ways to engage with those services in your community. I'll put some links in the box on nutritionists and getting hooked up with somebody that can really help you out. Overcoming obstacles. 3. There's 2 things. It requires practice and it requires prep. You need to see a nutritionist, and then it takes a lot of practice. This was not easy for me at first. Availability. I give it a 4. You have to go see a nutritionist, so it's a little bit harder. But once you have it, that immediately goes up to a 5. For the kind of day, I use this on my worst day. Obviously, I've come up with some plans where even my worst day, I can still get food in my stomach, and I have a meal plan for it. So that gives it about a 3.75 on average, and I'd actually round it up to a 4. This is a really important coping skill. So that's Coping Skill Tuesday. Subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more on coping skills. I'll see you guys on Thursday for regularly scheduled Thursdays.